Today we're diving into The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani. It's really a guide to, well, hacking your own reality. It's all about questioning those invisible rules we live by and then consciously designing a life that is truly extraordinary.
So let's start with the one big question the entire book is built on, a question we should all probably ask ourselves. Are the rules you live by, the ones about career, success, happiness, are they actually working for you? Or are they kind of past their expiration date? Now, if that question feels a little abstract, the data makes it very, very real. A Gallup study found that a staggering 70% of people are disengaged from their jobs. I mean, think about that. The vast majority of us are spending the best hours of our day doing work we just don't find fulfilling. And a huge reason for this is what the book calls the invisible script. We're all handed it when we're young, right? Get good grades, go to college, land a safe job, save for retirement, and then someday you'll finally get to be happy. The problem is, for so many of us, that path just doesn't deliver. And this isn't just about our careers. When you look across the board at our happiness, our relationships, our finances, our health, the conventional path, well, it's not delivering on its promise. The standard rules just aren't creating extraordinary results. So what is this invisible script that has such a powerful hold on all of us? The author gives it a name. He argues we're all living inside this huge, predefined framework that tells us how we're supposed to live. He calls it the culturescape. It's this tangled web of collective rules and beliefs we're all born into. A great way to think about it is like the water a fish swims in. It's just everywhere. It's shaping our ideas of what success looks like, what love is, what happiness means, and most of the time, we don't even notice it's there. Okay, so if we're all living in this world of pre-written rules that often don't even serve us, what's the first step to breaking free? Well, we have to get really good at questioning those rules. For this, Lakhiani came up with a pretty memorable term, a brule, which, is short for a bullshit rule. A brule is basically an idea we pick up from our culture to make things simpler, but it's often way, way past its sell-by date. And the author's own story is a perfect example of this. He landed what everyone thought was the ultimate dream job at Microsoft. The peak of success, right? But he was completely miserable. He actually engineered a way to get himself fired. At the time, it felt like this massive failure. But looking back, he realizes that breaking that one rule, the one that says a prestigious job equals happiness, was the best thing he ever did. And this isn't just some one-off story. He argues that the one common thread you see in pretty much every extraordinary person is that they refuse to just blindly accept the rules. They questioned their culturescape, and then they created their own path. So if questioning the rules is step one, what's next? It's not about just rejecting everything for the sake of it. It's about being a conscious architect. It's about intentionally engineering your own inner world. The author calls this consciousness engineering. The best way to think of it is becoming a hacker for your own mind. You actively go in, you look at the mental programming you inherited from the culturescape, and then you decide, which lines of code am I going to keep? Which am I deleting? And which ones do I need to rewrite from scratch? This whole idea of consciousness engineering really breaks down into two parts. First, you have your models of reality. These are your core beliefs, the hardware of your mind. And then you have your systems for living. These are your daily habits, the software you're running on that hardware every single day. And to see just how powerful your models of reality, that mental hardware, can be, you have to hear about this incredible study. Researchers took two groups of hotel maids. They told just one of the groups a simple new piece of information, that all the demanding physical work they do every day was actually great exercise that met all the official health recommendations. Okay, so get ready for this. The group that was told their work was good exercise, they lost an average of 2 pounds each. Their blood pressure improved. And the other group? Absolutely no change at all. I mean, let that sink in for a second. Nothing about what they were actually doing changed. The only thing that changed was their mindset, their belief. Their model of reality literally reshaped their physical bodies. That's how powerful your mind is. So once you start engineering your consciousness, you can get to this really incredible state of being. This is where you move beyond just following rules and you actually learn the art of, as he calls it, bending reality. And a really critical part of this is learning to tell the difference between two types of goals. See, most of us chase means goals. Things like getting a promotion, buying a car, earning an MBA. They're a means to an end, and they're usually based on society's rules. But end goals, well, those are the beautiful experiences we actually desire deep down. Things like feeling deep love, being truly happy, or going on an adventure. They come from your soul. And that's the whole magic of bending reality. It's being happy now, right here in this moment, while at the same time having this bold, exciting vision for the future that just pulls you forward. The journey itself becomes the reward. You're not waiting for some finish line to finally feel good about your life.
So how do we put all this together? Well, the final step is about integrating these ideas so you can live a life full of meaning. To find what the author calls your ultimate quest.
This quest really begins when you become what the author very colorfully calls unfuckwithable. Now, this has nothing to do with being arrogant or aggressive. It means you are so deeply at peace and in touch with yourself that nothing anyone says or does can really bother you. No negativity can touch you because your self-worth comes completely from inside.
And don't mistake this inner peace for being passive. It's actually a source of incredible power. As philosopher Ken Wilber points out here, the great spiritual masters throughout history, they weren't weak. They were fierce movers and shakers who changed the world. And they did it because their actions came from this place of deep inner certainty.
So that brings us to one last, really personal question for you. After all this, what is the one rule, that one bullshit rule about success or happiness or how you're supposed to live? What's the one rule that you are going to start questioning today? Because that first step, that's how you start building an extraordinary life.